Everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Evolving Activist. I'm Lauren Morn, and I'm coming at you this week from chilly Elizabeth, Colorado, where I'm at my mentor Melissa Pierce's place doing an advanced Gestalt coaching camp, which leads me to the topic for today, which is anger. Anger. You know, a lot of people who have been marginalized or oppressed, those of us who speak for non-human beings who are marginalized and oppressed, carry a lot of anger. And that can be fuel, or it can be toxic. It can be poison. I think, wasn't it Mark Twain who said, staying angry is like expecting somebody else, or drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. So holding on to that anger that we feel sometimes when we're activists, and we can see what could be different in the world, and we can see the possibilities, and we get so frustrated when people aren't changing. Holding on to that anger can be a really, really dangerous and destructive thing to do. Not to mention that it actually undermines our activism efforts. So it's really important to discharge it. It's really important to find a way to metabolize it so that you can be energized and clean and move forward from there, rather than being poisoned by the accumulation of bile, basically. So one of the things in Gestalt is that we very much focus on embodiment. We focus on the somatics. We look at all sorts of ways that we can bring the whole person into the experience, so that we can clear out all that stuff that clogs us up, and that we can move forward from there. So yesterday I had an opportunity myself to, I'm just going to move a little bit. I had an opportunity myself to work through some big anger, and it involved a tennis racket and a big stuffed cube, and a lot of very loud screaming. But here's the thing. We need fuel. We need fuel to keep us going as activists. We need to be clean. And a lot of people I know say, I don't want to be the angry vegan. I don't want to be the angry activist, right? I want to be the activist who is inviting people in, who encourages people to make a change. And anger can be very much off-putting to a lot of people. They get very defensive, and then the energy kind of escalates from there. When we discharge that anger, we can still keep our conviction, but we're not bringing that attacking energy into the interactions and the conversations that we need to have. So yesterday, my colleagues, God bless them, they bore witness. They held space for all of my vegan anger, all of my animal rights anger. I let that out. I let that all out on the cube yesterday. I poured it out. I yelled it out. I screamed it. I hit it. And today I feel energized. I feel clean, and I feel like I can move forward rather than feeling bitter, right? Let's do better. Let's not be bitter. The anger is appropriate. The anger and the frustration are absolutely appropriate. Bottling it up inside, finding that we are redirecting it inappropriately, or trying to put a happy face on it, none of those are actually going to deal with the fact that we are angry. And none of those are going to help us metabolize that energy. So to be able to come into a space where it's safe, where it is confidential, where I'm being held in honor and encouraged to really let it go, to let it rip, is a huge gift. A huge, huge gift. As you know, a lot of people who are advocating for social justice and change are frequently not held in that safe space. They're not given that opportunity. They're judged for being angry. They're told not to, not to be quite so noisy. Well, damn it, we should be noisy, and we have a right to be noisy. We have a right to our anger, and I want us all to be healthy. I want us all to be able to physically allow that energy to flow, rather than turning it in on ourselves or turning it out onto other people and causing more damage. So if you are looking for a way to get rid of some of that anger, to discharge it, come and see me. We'll work on it. It will be confidential. It will be safe. And if you can't come and see me, get yourself a damn it doll and beat the stuffing out of it, because it is cathartic. And one of the things I struggled with when I first started on the cube yesterday was it was hard for me to access my anger, because I'm so invested in nonviolence. I'm so invested in peace, right? And so it was really hard for me to dig in. It helps to have an inanimate object that you can release that energy onto. It helps to have people trigger, in inverted commas, trigger you and get you kind of incited so that you can get started. Once you get started, man, your body takes over and you let it go. So I'd like you to consider, how are you discharging your anger? How are you constructively allowing that energy to flow and to become fuel rather than poison? And I'd love for you, if you know of somebody who needs to hear this message today, tag them, leave me a comment, let me know how you deal with your anger. And if you're interested in working together, definitely message me. I'm up for it. And with that, I'm going to go inside for another big day of Gestalt, and have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world. I'll catch you on the flip side.